Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at Blackbull Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at Blackbull Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. Get either the Essential Plus or Premium plans absolutely free. All you need to do is trade from one lot a month at Blackbull Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. Our sponsor Blue Guardian is the only prop firm that gives their traders a tool to protect them from hitting their max daily loss and over trading. It's super simple to use. Just set the Guardian Protector each day from your dashboard. Did you also know that they've just released an unlimited time evaluation with a 0 trading days requirement, giving you plenty of time to hit their low 8 and 4% targets, making it super fast to get funded. Plus, it's cheaper than the 40-day time limit evaluation. Check out the link and coupon in the description to get 10% off your next Blue Guardian evaluation.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brinks Trades coming to you live with another week of breakdowns. Yeah, how's everybody doing today? I'm in the middle of kind of switching it up a little bit again, just trying to see if Sundays work better for people, how many people can get on and that type of thing. So if you guys are wondering why the stream wasn't yesterday, that's the reason. So again, I'm not sure if it'll stay on Sundays, but just again, trying to see what's going on as far as how many people we can get in on a call. So want to know where everybody's calling in from or watching from. So Millie Jackson, how's it going? Go ahead and give it a couple minutes for some people to log on. In the meantime, if you guys, again, you know the drill by now. If you guys have any questions at all about, just general J trading stuff, I'm always down to answer those questions. Botswana, shout out to Botswana. What time is it over there? It's got to be early in the morning over there. While we're waiting on people to hop on, I wanted to show this. So obviously it's the end of June. June just wrapped up. Depending on where you're at, it's either June 30th or July 1st, right? Or is it June of the 31st? I don't remember. Is it June 31st tomorrow or is it July 1st? It's July 1st. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's either June 30th or July 1st, depending on where you're watching at. So I wanted to kind of look it back and kind of give, my brand and everything that I'm trying to do in the trading space is, I've said this multiple times, is about, giving authenticity and really just kind of sharing more about where, an authentic look at what it means to be a trader. There's a lot of people online that just do a lot of flashing, and they don't necessarily give you like the hard gritty stuff that it comes to really being a trader, right? As far as, the day ins and day outs and things. And so what I wanted to do is just take a look, open up one of my funded accounts. I have this I have this platform that I use called TradeZilla. It's a really good stats platform that you can use to really like look at your stats and see, like what you made as far as your profits, your losses, and it kind of gives you like a profit factor, a win percentage. And so, obviously an average risk to reward, how many days you win, that type of thing. So it's a really cool piece of software that you can use to really just kind of get a better understanding of like where you're at as a trader, where you're struggling with. And so I've never really showed any of these platforms before, but I think it'll be really cool just kind of for people to kind of see just an example. And so here's one of the results of one of the funded accounts that I have with Apex. And I can show you this, and then we'll go ahead and get into the charts. Let me share my screen. Percent. Not too many people do this. So again, I started some Apex challenges. If you guys know me, I'm a futures trader, formerly more of a Forex trader. But really futures has really been the space that I've been working at this entire year. And so this past year, I have been really just kind of focusing on futures and really been enough funded accounts with them. There's a firm called Apex that I've been really trying to max out with. And so really just wanted to provide it, like, again, an authentic look about what it means to be a trader in this space, right? And so we have ups and downs. And so I started these accounts, a while ago, past got the live accounts in the beginning of May. Took a couple trades, I think the last week of May. So a little over 5 weeks ago. So in the last 5 weeks, was able to build, a few accounts up. This is just one of them. But again, when a lot of people talk about win rates and lose rates and that type of thing, and you kind of get the sense online that a lot of times your win rates are, these traders having like 100% win rates or very high percentage win rates, and you need to do that to have a profitable month. It's not always the case, right? So I've said this before in the call, but my win rate is usually somewhere between 66 and 70%, like the high 60s, very low 70s percent win rate. So usually I'm winning about 2/3 of my trades and losing about 30% of my trades, right? So or 30, like 33% of my trades. So this is just a look at one of the accounts. Again, this is, my trade of choice is really just going to be, for the most part, I'm going to be trading the NASDAQ, and this is the MNQ symbol, right? And so I started this account in May 20th. So it's been a week and a month and a week. And so in the last month and a week, you can see, like, yeah, I've been able to rack up, about 7,000 in this funded account with having a relatively low win percentage. Usually my win percentage is going to be in the 60s percent. And usually, I think as a trader, you should focus less on win percentage and more on your daily wins, and it's meaning like how many percentage of your days are red versus green. And that's really what I have here. And so even this is a little bit shorter than I'd like to see, but on average, winning 66% of my days, right? Or 63% of my days this past month in a week. And on average, it's usually between 66 and 68%. So I'm down a little bit from what I've done in the past few months this year, but just a really authentic look as far as what, red days and green days. And so again, winning 60% of those days. One day was actually, I think I accidentally took trades. I wasn't supposed to take, I wasn't trying to take a trade. I think I accidentally clicked in and clicked out. So it technically counts as a red day. But, winning about 66% or 63 to 66% of the trades if you factor in that day. And it's, having tools like this really allows you to see kind of like as a trader if you're progressing or not, and really just kind of giving an authentic look. But I don't win every day, right? I have plenty of trades where I lose, right? This is a $300 loss on this account, a $200 loss, $174 loss. Small wins, right? So this was a day where I barely broke even. On a day I think I had a huge loss, or I was down in drawdown and I just closed it out just barely in profit. It's pretty much a scratch day, right? And obviously you have big win days. It's a $3,000 day here and a $900 day there, right? So on this one account, that's the equivalent of $7,000 in the past 5 weeks. So, really with Apex, I think my target for this account is I have to make somewhere around $9,000. So I'm almost there before I can get that withdrawal from them. So probably in the next week or so. But it really goes to show you, obviously, the potential and the power that you have with trading the markets. Um, and how, if you have the right amount of capital, which you can potentially rack up, in a given amount of time. So I'm going to jump back to these comments here just so people can see this. But, I think this is cool to really show authentic looks about what you can and can't do, or what you have been able to do as a trader. And hopefully this is giving somebody an authentic look, right? And if we talk about this, right, $7,000, and this is just one account. There's a few others that I've been trading on, but so it's actually a little bit more. I think the number is actually closer to 11,000 in the last 5 weeks. But still, right, just looking at this one account alone, right, we times this by 12. That's well over $80,000. It's almost $90,000 a year, right? Off of just, maybe what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days of trading, right? So, this goes to show you really like what the power of trading is. And if you can really master a skill set, what the potential opportunities are for this, right? So, again, obviously it's not investment advice, but just, I thought it was really cool. I think again, when I was coming up as a trader, like there wasn't many people that could, that I could look to see actual results of what the month is supposed to look like. So hopefully you guys kind of take this and just again use it as a little piece of motivation. But let's go ahead and get looking at the charts this week really quickly. So again, if you guys know me by now, you know that I want to be looking at, oops, wrong one. You know that I want to be looking at the dollar index just to get a better understanding of where we're at. And currently, we're bullish on dollar. And I've been looking at, obviously, these 3 arrows are over 3 different projections about where we could potentially go. But ideally, this is our higher time frame target, this 106.96. And we've been working our way to this over the past few weeks. So we jump up to the weekly really quickly. Again, we're making our way to that high. And so if we had to pick out a long-term target, again, we're going to be there. Short-term target, again, is going to be this level here at the 106.39 level. And so we're on our way to that level. So short-term this week is going to be our short-term target for the week. And if we can get an extended run to this high, then I'll be looking for kind of like my long-term target. We're sitting right below this ultimate fair value gap here. So just again, we've been calling this out for the past, pretty much since the beginning of May, that we want to see price come back up here. So we're finally starting to get some bullish momentum up there. So again, it's going to be cool for looking for areas where we could potentially pull back to in price. On the low end, we see consequent encroachment here. So ideally, something like that would be something that I want to see. We're also very much respecting the top end of this fair value gap. So we might not even get a play here. So I'll say this, like I'll draw this back up and see if we can take out the lows here at the end of the lows of these candles, and then potentially run back up right to these highs. So ideally, that's kind of what I want to see on the index. Or I'm sorry, on dollar index. Let's go ahead and go to NASDAQ really quickly. Again, I drew out a couple different levels here on NASDAQ. Overall, I'm bullish on this. It's just kind of a matter of fact as to where we think the market might go as far as kind of like that pullback level. Ideally, coming into last week, because I wanted to see the market do something like this, where we drew back down to consequent encroachment and then continue to go higher. We didn't quite get that. We traded down, took out these lows right there. Actually, I'm sorry, we did take out and really trade back into this old imbalance here, taking out these lows. And that was kind of the area where I wanted to start looking. And this was kind of like the best optimal area for us to continue to go higher. We traded back outside of this. So ideally coming into this week, I'm still bullish. And us respecting this entire zone, and especially this gap here very strongly, kind of lets me know that we're probably not going to go back down again. So ideally, I want to see the price. I want to see the market go tap this high. We're opening up there. I want to see the market do something like this. Maybe potentially tap this again, and then really look to go long at this point. If I'm drawing this level here, I'm going to hop down to the 1 hour really quickly. Yeah, so I'm going to say this. So ideally in the worst case scenario, I'd like to see the market respect this and then go higher. If we find ourselves trading under this imbalance here, then this could be a very deep run. We could be going back to this imbalance here, or we could just potentially, start the downtrend that we've been talking about. I'm not a huge fan of NASDAQ this week, only because we really have been trading in this consolidation area here. And so we know, my students know, with consolidation comes a couple things that we're looking at. So we could see a deeper extended run like this, or we could just tap this fair value gap here and then continue to ride higher. But I'm very much bullish on this. It's just a matter of fact of where we're going to make our low at. So again, ideally, I want to see the market run back into this gap starting at 19,966, or I might be looking here at this kind of unmitigated area here at 19,630. So I'm not really in a rush to trade this. I'm just kind of, this is a lot of consolidation. So depending on how we run, might give us an idea of how, or where we start the week off might really give us an idea of where we want to go from here. So again, same targets. I'm actually going to bring this target down a little bit because we created this very high here. Oops. But ultimately, our long-term target is going to be this. So I'm just going to make a line here and say that our all-time high is the long-term target, but there's a pretty prominent high here. At 20,373, and then 20,284, let's call it, be our short-term weekly target. I think if we do get an extended run, that we could take out this high, all in a 1 week. It's not that far of a difference, but just since this is so prominent, I definitely want to call this out as a level to pay attention to. So, and then the other level that I'm going to really note here, again, is going to be consequent encroachment, just to see if we are respecting this level. If we're not respecting this level, then if we're not respecting this level, then we're probably going to continue to go higher. If we are, then we could see, prolonged consolidation. So I'm not really going to pay as much attention to it until we get to that level. But just another thing that I marked out in the charts. Skippo says, do you trade US30? Yes, I trade US30. That's going to be the same analysis that for Dow Jones. US30 is Dow Jones. So when I do my US30 analysis right now, you will see that breakdown. So give me 1 second. So again, 19,890, 19,604, and then for the pullback levels, and then obviously 20,258 for the for our weekly target levels. Long-term target is 20,375, and then 20,175 for this level. So for consequent encroachments, I'm just going to mark that out. Let's go to US30. It's going to be the same thing as Dow Jones. So if you look here, I have US30 and Dow Jones. It's pretty much the same. I just like looking at the futures version of it because that's what I actively trade. Again, we've been ranging, right? We've been making our way closer to this weekly target, but it's really been just a consolidated effort here. And so ideally, when I first saw this, I wanted to see the market really trade, really tear out of this consolidation and look to go higher. We might not get that. That's what I've been calling over the past few weeks, but really just been a ranging market here. So ideally, I'm still shooting for this target. I'm still planning for us to make our way to this high. I'm looking to see how we react at this level. Actually, I'm going to use US30 because it's a little clearer. I mean, some of these gaps are excessive on futures, so I don't like, it gives you good things to look at, but sometimes it's hard to plan it out when you see a lot of gaps in the current area. So, I would like to see, there's a couple levels that I'll be looking at. I like to see the market really trade back into this imbalance here, or potentially make our way back down here and really look to go higher at that point. This is kind of like worst case scenario. It's like worst case scenario here at 38,753. But ideally, I'd like to see the market really trade and respect this level here. I'm just gonna make this line like that so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But 38,982 there, and looking to take things a little higher. So ideally, that's what I want to see out of US30. So I'm bullish on pretty much all three, but it really depends on the level of like kind of support or like the pullback level that we're trying to get to. Um, and how that reacts once we get there. So ideally, that's what I want to see. I also would not be surprised again on Dow Jones if we made a huge run down here. There's a lot of unleveled, like kind of like liquidity sitting in this area that we just haven't mitigated yet. So with this kind of being a huge consolidation, I would not be surprised if we just ran down, kind of took this low out, and then kept going higher. So that's what I'm planning for this, a short pullback, but I would not be surprised if we got this too. And the more the price consolidates here without really taking out the high, the more likely it'll be that we run down here. So again, I'm just looking to see how we react to that over the next few weeks, few days to few weeks. Yeah, so that's all I really have for you guys. If I'll stay on for any questions, but I got a few minutes. I get confused when ES is going up in New York, but US30 is going down. Are you saying based on my like general analysis, or like just in general this happens to you, like when you're looking at the charts and during the live sessions, Skippo? Yeah, because like, okay, so like, and if you're talking about my analysis, I guess this is what I wanted. I've had this line drawn on my charts for a few weeks. I thought ideally we could come back down here. So if I'm confusing you, let me get that out of the way. But ideally, what I'm saying is I want to see the market. If we go back down to the daily, originally when this consolidation trend started, I thought we could come down here and then go higher. We haven't been getting that. So ideally, I'm looking at one of these two levels to continue to go higher. But originally, when I drew those arrows there, I thought the market could do something like this. This was a few weeks ago. The market could do something like that, basically, where it comes down, takes out that high, and goes. So if that's what you're talking about, I apologize. I just removed that off the charts. But ideally, I mean, there's still a chance we could do this. And if we start getting a run against my prediction, like to the lows, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's going to happen. But as of now, I'm really looking at these short-term levels for us. And so if we break these, this is probably what's going to happen. We're probably going to come down here, take this low, and then go higher. But ideally, this is what I want to see. This is kind of like the playing zone for this week. You know, this area right here. So hopefully that wasn't what you were confused by. And then I think that's it. So Thabo Solo says, yeah, I do trade gold. Skippo says, can a trader be profitable trading US30 and NQ with ES for SMT? Yeah, I mean, I think you can be profitable. I think generally these things are going to go in the same direction, but I wouldn't necessarily 100% rely on SMT. So like SMT, I'm thinking you're talking about like divergence, like one or two going up when the other ones are going down, that kind of thing. That's one signal, but you have to have like a checklist of things, right? So like when I trade, I don't necessarily rely on like one thing. There's probably like, I don't know, 5 or 6 things that I'm looking to line up before I even take trades. You just can't say like, okay, ES is going up, S&P is going up, and Dow Jones is going down. So that's divergence. It's an S&T play, and I can just hop in the trade. You have to have way more than that. That's just another piece to the checklist that you're writing down. So you can be profitable trading US30, and you can even use SMT, but it shouldn't be the only thing you're relying on, if that makes sense. Um, I do trade gold. I'm sorry, I do not trade gold. I've never traded really gold in my life, but I get a lot of people asking about gold. And a lot of consolidation on gold. This is kind of my gold outlook. We really have failed to break below this. So we might not get as deep as this low, but just with all this consolidation that's been going on, this is kind of what I'm seeing here is I want to see this happen. Again, people love to trade gold. It's an event-driven market. Um, someone came on here and said gold is kind of like the girl that doesn't love you even though you love her back or something like that. But it's not a chart that I trade actively because it's very event-driven. It moves with a lot of geopolitical events and not necessarily on a regular basis with news. So I think people trade it way more than they should, but that's just me. So yeah, um, that's all. If that's all the questions I have, I don't really know your view commitment of trader data. I don't know what you mean by that. Skipple says US30 is the goal for indices. And yeah, I mean, honestly, man, I mean, like, you have to pick one that you're comfortable trading and that moves. I mean, out of all three of them, I would trade US30 the least, but there's plenty of people that can trade US30 and like really do well with it. So, I just my experience is NASDAQ is the one that I trade and I love trading that one. Um, and I don't really try and trade anything else, to be honest with you. Like I might even do the markups and the analysis on all three of them, but I primarily just trade NASDAQ. And it also helps my personality. I can't juggle multiple things. Like when I'm trading, that's the only thing I can really focus on. It's like I'm like a one shot, one kill kind of person. I can't juggle 5 or 6 different charts or 3 or 4 different charts when I'm actually in my sessions. I can do the analysis for them, right? But I can't sit up there and look at all of these charts while stuff's going on. So and try to trade all, multiple charts. I can use them as a reference or use them for divergence and that type of thing or SMT. But I can't like actively try and take positions on all these trades. I just focus so much on one chart when I'm trading that it's very hard to manage 3 or 4 different charts for me, and then at the same time still try and manage like 4 or 5 different time frames on those 3 or 4 charts. Like it's not gonna happen for me. So again, if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna log off now because I have to jump to another call. But if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to join my TickUps chat. This is a free chat. It doesn't cost you a dime. Just need to download Telegram. Um, and let me know if you want to be a part of that. Again, I'll drop the link right here. It's a free chat, but hopefully, the value that I'm giving you guys between all this stuff is free. I do have a mentorship chat people have been asking me about, but it's not really open to the public right now. It's really just a few members that I want to work with one-on-one more to kind of help them get right. And it's not really open to the public as of yet now. So let me drop that there. If you guys have any questions, you can hit me up. Really quickly though, someone says, "Hey, I have a really random and funny question." Okay, so what's your random and funny question? Not related to finance. Okay, what's up? Okay. It says, Oh no, it's too silly. Maybe, haha, just some silly to bring humor to the day. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you can either drop it in the chat right now, or you can hit me on Telegram and hit and message me. Guess if it's funny and it's appropriate, I don't care. Have I watched the charter models? I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe I think I might know what you're talking about, but I don't know. Um, yeah, nah 7-3. I don't know who you are, but find me, yeah, find me on Telegram. I guess message me. That's cool too. And just say, hey, this is from the guy from or from the live call. Prop firm is Blue Guardian. No, I haven't watched those at all, to be honest with you. Um, there's some good material there, but I mean, I think if you try to get so caught up in like learning a bunch of different things, then you tend to lose sight of what, you're in the market for. I think a lot of times people try to learn so much about trading and they feel like they need to know everything about this. And it's like, I don't know. I have a general understanding of how these markets work, and I have a strategy that works for me. And that's all I need. I don't need to know everything about the markets at all given times. I just need to know what I need to know around certain times of the day. And that's it, or certain market scenarios. And when they repeat, that's cool. But outside of that, I'm good. I don't need to know everything. All right, guys. Yeah, facts. Exactly. Just learn something, learn it till you know it, and then, uh, yeah, don't try and know everything about this market. This market is crazy, and you're never gonna know everything. Sometimes you're gonna lose. I mean, going back to that, if you guys watch this or if you guys came in late, like I showed off of my Tradezilla, right? And so like there's times I'm losing trades just like everybody else does, right? But I'm not I'm not trying to know everything about the market, because I'm never going to know everything about the market. And even when I do everything right, I'm still going to lose sometimes. That's just the reality of trading. So I don't try to know everything about the market. I just try to be good in the situations that I know, or the situations that I've trained for over and over and over again. Right. And so, um, yeah. So hopefully, guys, this helps. I'm going to log off now. But if you guys have any questions, please, please, please find me in the Telegram and feel free to ask me. These markets are hella spiritual. These markets will make you go through a whole personal journey. Honestly, I agree. I agree with the markets making you go through the whole personal journey. Maybe not the spiritual part, but making you go through a whole journey, man. I mean, everything, I think the strategy is the easy part, mastering yourself. You can never master the markets. You just find a way to master yourself. And that's the biggest thing, mastering your emotions, mastering your discipline. And it's still a struggle because I still have a lot of days where I do dumb things. I'm sure if I go back and pull up that Tradezilla thing, I'm pretty sure there's probably 1 or 2 days this month where I did something stupid, instead of me, following my rules 100%. But, being able to manage your risk, being able to manage your own temperament, not getting too high when you're up, not feeling too low when you're down, and really just making sure that you're just keeping yourself even keel, again, will lead to consistent results. And it doesn't take much, man. I mean, having a small edge, technically an edge would mean that you're trading over 50%, right? And so my edge is I have like a 10 or 15% edge over 15%, over 50%. I'm trading at that 66 to 68, percent win rate on most of the time when I trade. And so most of like my green days, I have about 60 something percent green days. And so that's not a tremendous edge, right? But it's, you know, it's big enough to exploit over time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And, you know, again, find me in Telegram, message me, and go from there. Thanks.